Hey soul family, welcome back to the channel. This is the White Feather Tarot, and in today's reading we're doing your future self's description of who you've become. I am personally so excited about doing this reading for you. Let's pick our four piles together. So for pile number one, we'll uncover them when we pull out our four piles. Let's see what we have. So for pile number one, we have improbability. For pile number two, we have potential. For pile number three, we have impasse. And for pile number four, we have air. And if you like to pick with crystals, give me a second and I'll add these in. There we go. And so for pile number one, we have the red jasper. For pile number two, we have the blue agate. This is what it looks like. For pile number three, we have the blue howlite. And this is what it looks like. For pile number four, we have the tiger's eye. And this is how it looks like. All right. So take a look at which one of these four piles or four crystals you're the most drawn to. And that's probably the pile for you here today. If you feel drawn to more than one pile or more than one crystal, trust your intuition because it will always guide you to the right readings. You may find more for you to know in other piles, more details that you will resonate with and will blow your mind and will be equal message to you as your first pile was. And so always trust your intuition. And as usual, you'll find the timestamps down in the description box. Click on your times and I'll see you in your readings. Hey soul family, if you love the card picking process and the shuffling as much as I enjoy it, I left this section specifically for you as always. And if you're ever interested in any of the decks that I use, you want to know their names or any information about them, I always list them down in the description box. Okay, so let's start our fun process together. You know, I really feel that this process is so magical. And I think we all here, the people who love watching this section, and as well as I do, we really feel and understand the magic going on in the process. It's so much fun to watch it, isn't it? All right, so enough with talking. Let's pick out your oracle decks. It's just sometimes I feel something and I want gush and express it. Let's start with our first oracle deck. So I have the oracles on this side, the tarot on this side. They're not all on camera because I don't have enough space, camera space, but in a second we'll include them in. All right, so let's shuffle with intention. I feel this one's sticking out. I'll take it. So can we kindly know what is their future self's description of who they've become, please? Thank you. 1, 3, 2, 3, and I feel this. Oh, yeah, I feel this one. 4. All right. Yeah, there we go. We have space now. Okay, let's move on to our next oracle deck. shuffle with intention. Can we kindly know what their future selves' description of who they've become is, please? Their future selves' description of who they have become, please. Thank you. 1, 2, I feel this one. 3 and 4. Thank you very much. Okay. Now, what is their future self's description of what they have become, please? Thank you. 2 and 3. I feel this one is 1 and 4. Okay, so we now have more space to put our tarot cards since we used our oracles already. And I feel like these two are the ones that you cannot see at the moment. So let's just keep them there. How about that? Okay, actually, we can already use this one. Let's do that. So, may we kindly know, please. I love this deck. I love the 4 decks here, actually. And I made sure I got the decks today that will really help us take a look closely at how your future self describes you so that we can get into the nitty-gritty of it. All right. I wanted to do this reading from my heart to you. Oh, 2 are coming in. We'll take them. From my heart to you. I want to make sure that I do it right. Okay, so we already have 1 here. It is this deck that I will take 2 cards from. Okay, no, actually, yes, it's this deck. Let's move on to the next. Can we kindly know what is their future self's description of who they have become, please? 2, 3, and 4. Wonderful. Okay, moving on to our next deck. Thanks. 1. Can we kindly know what is their future self's description of who they have become, please? Thank you. Thank you. Oh, thank you. 2 for 4. Wow, okay. Right. Okay. Let's take our final deck. This time I'll only be taking 1 card for the 4th pile because the 4th pile has a lot now. It's what has been chosen to happen. Oh, I have 1, 2, 3, and 4 again for the 2nd round here. Can we kindly know what is their future selves, thank you, description of who they have become, please? Thank you so much. Okay, so we have our 4 piles ready. Let's now put them neatly together. All right, let's pick our first pile. All different sizes and shapes, but it's pretty easy today to put them together. So this is pile number 1. Let's add the stone, which is the red jasper. For pile number 2, I think we have it ready now. There we go. Pile number 2. And we have the blue agate. There we go. Pile number 3. There we go. Let's add it in. Apologies, had to take out the noise. So we have the blue howlite. And for the 4th pile, there we go. Our 4th pile is also ready with the tiger's eye. I feel like as I was turning on the camera first, I pushed this one a little bit, but luckily the cards really didn't move that much. Okay, it was so nice spending this time with you. Thank you for sticking around. I always enjoy spending my time with you, preparing the cards, and let's get into your readings. Hi, pile number 1. So you have chosen the beautiful red jasper as well as improbability. So let's take a look at the rest of your cards and find out what your future self's description is of you. The description of what you have become. Very excited about today's reading. Let's take a look at your first oracle card. So you have here, addict helps you recognize and confront addictive behavior. Wonderful. Okay. And you have the otter. All right. You also have Jupiter in Virgo with patience. Okay. Right. So, you have the 2 of Wands. Okay. You also have the Sun. Okay. You have the Scarlet Shield, which is the Queen of Wands. I apologize, the Queen of Swords. I apologize about that. You have the Page of Swords. And you have the Queen of Wands. So many court cards right next to each other in your reading here. Pile number 1. This is going to be a very interesting reading. I can see already with all the different aspects in your reading. Having trouble with the camera and the set. All right. I think we're now clear to begin. Okay. Charge the camera. Everything is ready. So, if we are to look at your cards, pile number 1. Obviously, we can see clearly that your future self is telling you that you have achieved something that was otherwise thought as impossible or very hard to fathom by the people around you, or really by anyone else. There's so much perseverance in your energy. And I feel like you have pushed through so many obstacles and challenges and dared to dream big, when perhaps everyone around you would have thought what you're doing didn't make sense, that it really wasn't gonna do so much. They probably felt like your efforts may have resulted to some good things, but definitely not towards the stars. And this is the surprising thing in your future reading, my dear pal number 2. I see people in your future being surprised with how much ahead, how many amazing things you were able to build. Because to them, you could be a loving, regular person who didn't start off with much. But as they watched you persevere, they thought, oh, well, pile number 1 is a hard worker. I hope their plans, work somehow, that they achieve something small. But I see in your future that you've achieved something so big that it's almost impossible to think. It's almost impossible to really believe that it would amount to these big things. I see your future self describing you as someone who has persevered, even though many odds were against you, and you may not have started off on the right foot with so many things that would help you reach that amount of success. In fact, I do see with the 2 of Wands here, do you see how you have a strong, beautiful farmer here who is already trying to dig and plant his field in the early spring, very excited about getting it going, trying to dig the ground. But you do see the ground is quite stiff and dry after perhaps a long, dry winter season. And now, since this farmer is starting early, perhaps have other farmers telling the farmer to wait until the rains come and help the ground soften up a bit so that he can start planting, which is what everyone else would be doing. But you do see this farmer being persevering, and even though this farmer feels like the odds have been stacked against him, he's still starting. He's very ambitious about, he knows the benefits that he's going to get. And in fact, you see the creativity here. He saw 2 shovels, put them together in a creative way, and now he's created this really smart tool to help him dig and start planting. And so these sort of things come with the people who persevere, who keep thinking about how to move forward despite of the challenges, and not think of when to start when the challenges go away. This is an eager person who wants to make it happen. It's not waiting for life to give them opportunities, is what I'm seeing your future self. This is how I'm seeing your future self as describing you in your cards here. I see your future self saying, you are not a person who waits for opportunities to come to you. You are a person who creates it. And in fact, you are a person who's worked so hard and dared to dream so big with improbability. The probability here of the amazing things that have happened to you in the future were perhaps in the beginning, so little in comparison to the amount of perhaps success, wealth, or the amazing things that you've done, who knows, are. And so you weren't waiting for things to happen. You weren't waiting for the soil for the rain to wet the soil. You weren't waiting for anything. You know it's a fertile ground. You're gonna plant, because as time goes by, you can make use of that time to grow and to create even more. You want to make use of your time as well to do something big. I see your future self saying, you might think that your self-discipline or your strength is something that may be common with everyone, but as time goes by, you realize just how hard-headed you were about success and about reaching your dreams, pile number 1. That you have done so much for yourself in the future. Your future self describes you as someone who was able to overcome not just the challenges in your life, but you were able to overcome things and habits that were perhaps harming you in the past. These could be perhaps certain foods that you enjoy. Now you are pushing away the habits, the chemicals, anything, the things that you enjoyed that you realized brought harm, the people, perhaps your behaviors and addictions towards people, any of the sort. You were so strong that you were able to persevere through the things that may have weakened you or stood in your way or caused even more challenges to you. Anything that stood in your way, you are clearly depicted here as someone who would persevere through it and push through it. Push it out of your way, because all you know here with the shield and the Queen of Swords, that you are shielding your hopes and your dreams and who you want to become so hard that you've actually achieved really everything that you wanted. Pile number 1. In fact, this is confirmed with the Jupiter in Virgo with patience. You see, a lot of people can start persevering, but it's those who continue to be patient and wait, even when things aren't as clear as they are in the future or in the past. When things aren't clear, when things sometimes feel hopeless, like you've been pushing and it's not working. The people who decide to continue to persevere during these tricky times are the people who make it to the other side. And this is how I see your future self describing you. Your future self is so proud of you. Pile number 1. There's so much love with the Otter here. There's another layer to that which I'll get to, but I see your future self saying, I love you, pile number 1. I love you. Thank you for being us. Thank you for dreaming so big and persevering and working this or working towards your dreams despite the odds stacked against you. For thinking about how to solve rather than thinking of what is standing in your way. For educating yourself. For being who you are, because who you are is the reason for who I am today. So thank you, pile number 1. Such loving energy coming from your future self, my dear pile number 1. So sweet, so much pride, so much love, and so much glory, so much blessings and gifts in your future. As a result, that's why your future self is really showing appreciation in your reading. Another thing that I'm seeing in your reading, in terms of your future self, you have the Otter and you have the Queen of Wands. Now, the Queen of Wands is known to be someone who helps other while she builds her kingdom. Of course, her is energy. So, taking a look at these two together, I would say your future self is telling you, is describing you as someone who helps others as they succeed. Your future self is saying that you're not a selfish person. You share your knowledge, you share your kindness with your loved ones around you. Especially with the otter, one of the main things I remember when taking a look at the otter is how they hold each other's hand as they sleep on the water at night, so that they may never drift away from each other. So sweet. And so I feel like you hold on to the dear ones and you never drift away, no matter how much success or wealth you have created. That you are a very loyal person and you hold on to the dear ones and you help them out as you grow. And also you help others that are perhaps with the Page of Swords beginning their journey. You're not selfish with the information and the knowledge that you have. You share it with others. And so you persevere, you're a great leader, and you also help others who are trying in the way, because you believe that the sun is there to shine on everyone and not just a single person, which makes you such a beautiful person, my dear pile number 1. Oh, I love this pile. And so I see your future self saying about you, especially with the red jasper and the improbability here. You see how there's an arrow shooting for the stars. It knows its goal and it goes towards it with force. Now, taking a look at improbability and the red jasper, I see your future self describing you as someone who is not here to preserve a status quo that you've achieved, or the little things that little in comparison to your dreams, but you are here to overthrow it, my dear pile number 1. Love you, pile number 1. So pile number 1, that was your reading. I wish you a splendid future. Love your character, and I'm also very proud of you, just like your future self. May you always persevere. And so pile number 1, that was your reading. I hope you've enjoyed it. And if you have, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload. Don't forget to click on your notification bell. And please don't forget to check out my productivity book. It's small, straight to the point, and so you won't procrastinate on reading it, but it has all the key advice and secrets to becoming a productive person right away, all while enjoying the process. And so if you're interested in that, I wrote it from my heart to yours so that you can persevere and succeed in your life. You'll find a link to this book down in the description box. And pile number 1, it was such a pleasure, and I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye. Hi, pile number 2. So you have chosen the blue agate as well as potential. And I cannot tell you the amount of times this pile kept shifting and changing from the very beginning as I was preparing the cards, and another time when I was charging my camera and the desk here moved. So it has potential, and it's the first pile ever, to keep shifting and moving so much before we even start the reading. So there's definitely a strong message here. I feel so much pushing and so much eagerness happening within this pile. You have, as you know, potential. Let me adjust that. As well as the beautiful blue agate. Let's now finally take a look at this pile that was waiting and eager to come out. Let's see what we have. So, we have mother with nurturance, of course, patience, unconditional love, joy in giving birth to life. All right. You also have, the cosmic egg. And this right away reminds me of the Orphic egg myth. We'll talk about it in a second and we'll see. Wow, I just love when the spiritual symbol shines like that. I just love it. Okay. Yeah, we'll see how all of this fits into your reading. Let's take a look at the rest of your cards together. You have the moon in Aries with protection. Love that. Okay. Pile that just wants to move. Yeah, I'm not surprised with the Empress type of energy here, with joy in giving birth to life. You're full of life. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. You also have pile number 2, the 5 of Pentacles. You have Judgment. You also have the Ace of Wands with Hollowed Flame. And you have, as you can see, yeah, there we go, 7 of Swords. And you have Death. Oh, so much death and rebirth, renewal in your reading. I know I'm gonna love this reading. Let me first, before I start, just put the picture together. So pile number 2, I see your future self describing a past that was pretty tricky or hard. Seeing the 5 of Pentacles and the 7 of Swords, I see your future self, especially with all the motherhood here that we'll talk about. We see a child here, a child with a mother, an egg again. We'll talk about all of that. So I do see that you were abandoned in the past. You were put in very tricky situations, and instead of close ones, perhaps parents, mothers, family, friends, instead of being there for you, they may have judged you and caused a lot of pain to you. You may have even separated from these people, pile number 2. You do see here the rough energy of the past. You see a woman perhaps running away from this old soulless factory, finding refuge. You see its leg being swollen from all, and hands from all the working and the running. And this figure is finding refuge within or amidst a soulless town with soulless buildings, in the middle of the night, where she feels lost, where she feels like she's surrounded by shadows and perhaps bad people. And you see this figure reaching a church, where a church should be open to everyone. The people behind the closed door in this specific church close the door, and you see with the eye here, judging this person. See who comes in and who doesn't. Does this person, perhaps judging this person's past or some deeds, not knowing their full story. and instead of opening the door, perhaps judging. And so I see a lot of being left alone, even though you're such a nurturing, loving person, being judged by the same people who were supposed to be there. It's like they betrayed the system, family, betrayed the system of religion, betrayed the system of society. They were supposed to have a good role, but they did not play this good role. And at some point, you discovered many things, as you see with the specific Seven of Swords, as well as this Death card. You're seeing that you discovered things that really shocked you. Especially that here, they're depicting the Norwegian story, Valmon, where one of the daughter's woodworkers, I believe it was woodworkers, discovered, it's a long story, discovered something that she wasn't supposed to discover. Again, discovery here. You caught bad actions, bad behavior in action. You discovered the bad intentions or the things that they weren't supposed to be doing from the people around you that were supposed to be there and dear and where you formed a good bond with. And seeing the Death card, seeing the cosmic egg, seeing judgment with rising from the dead, I certainly see a pattern here of you at some point feeling dead on the inside, perhaps feeling the shadow of the world. In fact, there was great shock in your life. It was very vigorous. And I see your future self telling you that your story is inspiration, to say the least, is very hard to believe looking in retrospect to how you have overcome all of that. Your future self is describing you as someone who is indestructible, someone who is there to create something big. And as you have risen in the future, you have had the power to help others rise with you. Maybe pile number 2, you are some spiritual leader or someone in a position to inspire. Do you see how your pile was trying to move out from the very beginning? And you see this adamant energy of creating a rebirth from nothing in your life. You had it very vigorous, and equally you've used this vigorous energy that you received to push everything else out and push yourself out of it and rise and create something as vast as the universe. And the reason I say that is that you have the cosmic egg. And as I said from the beginning, it reminds me of the Orphic creation myth, where Protagonist, which means the firstborn. So Protagonist was the first god to be born. And Protagonist was born from both chaos and ether. And ether, by the way, is the 5th element that fills the vastness of the universe outside of the global sphere, or terrestrial, yeah, that's what I want to say, terrestrial sphere, everything else that fills it. And so with chaos, which is what I'm seeing happened, from chaos, you use that 5th element, which is your spirituality, your belief, your skill, taking the energy of the chaos and creating something unthinkable as the universe. So I see your future self describing you with someone who has a vast amount of potential and skills that is indescribable. And in fact, you see here with the hollowed flame, with the Ace of Wands, it's like there's a new beginning here for you. You've made a huge decision and you stuck to it, where There was potential brimming inside of you, bringing with it incredible personal growth, my dear pile number 2. So you've created new opportunities for yourself, as well as new opportunities coming your way because of this energy that you've created. Just like the cone of power, you've created so much energy that is just ready to explode into something as huge and vast as the universe. In fact, I suddenly see this as a battery, energy just waiting to happen. A strong birth and a surge of inspiration running through your veins, creating this aha moment. And I see your future self describing you as, just here with the Amun Ra, as a god helping everyone rising. We do see another god here, which is protagonist. Again, there is god-like energy. Not God, of course, but God-like energy to you. As I see in this reading, creation, making something rise and helping others rise with you. Pile number 2. I see your future self describing you as having some sort of secret. Maybe you already know it watching this, pile number 2. Do you have some sort of secret mission? Shh. Do you see? There's a lot of secrecy in your reading. Other than what we saw in the past, I'm seeing your future self describing you as someone who's treading along this journey in secrecy. You want to do something, but for some reason you're being secretive about it, about this birth. Why? And why is your future self showing us that, is the question. Let me take a closer look. Looking at the very same card, this figure, or you, don't want anyone to touch this mission in its beginning, in its infancy, perhaps. Maybe you don't want outside influences, perhaps wrong beliefs or discouragement from people around you, or whatever the cause is, or outside influence that could charge it and move it the wrong way. I see you being very secretive about it, pile number 2, before you show it to the world and open the curtain. And so I see your future self telling you that you're creating something humongous that obviously will help generations. It could even involve helping children, maybe, since you have a lot of children in this reading. It could help children, or it's just like the cosmic egg, or maybe the world. You have a very big mission, pile number 2, and you are charged, my goodness, with energy and motivation and power, and you're treading through it non-stop, creating this big mission. I see your future self describing you as someone who has great power in the future, a big name. And again, I'm not saying God, I'm just saying it's like there's great popularity. Perhaps with all the God energy, it's like you're being greatly assisted from source to help something rise greatly, pile number 2. I see your future self telling you here that you may perhaps have been really abandoned or mistreated, judged, but in the future you have a very big name and you are greatly respected and admired and revered for the great mission that you have done. helping others rise from the dead, perhaps from their tricky and hard situation. Pile number 2. Such a profound pile here in pile number 2. Wow. You also had to, your future self is describing you as very courageous, although you are protected. But it's like you had to go about it in the beginning very slowly in order not to disturb something that would intimidate something, or perhaps intimidate your environment. Maybe you're hushed towards your environment. And so you had to tread it carefully. You had to tread your way out of this, into this big mission carefully and with a lot of consideration, with a lot of discernment. But you were able to go through it in this difficult situation. You see your leg being swollen. You kept going at it, pile number 2. And you've achieved something so royal. With a horse here, it reminds me of a knight. Yeah, something royal-like. A big position in life. In fact, I cannot help but pull out more cards for you to see that future that your future self is describing. We already see your future self describing this great position that you will be in. I will pull out cards and see more. I'll use this in a second to see more of what this future is like. So exciting here. But I see your future self, to continue my point here first. I see your future self describing you as someone who's revered, someone who's respected, someone who will change something big, will help people rise, and someone who has so much motivation it's hard to kill amidst all the trickery, the spells, the whatever people do to you. You have overcome it, and you continue to overcome, because your energy and your power is way stronger than bad behavior, bad intentions, you falling down into the pit, dark hole of the dark night of the soul. Your energy is way stronger than everything standing in your way, because of the energy in your soul, as well as source and the universe being there for you, helping you achieve this mission. Let's see what your future self, how can your future self describe this new reality here? And through it we can get more information about how your future self sees you. Can we kindly get more information about that? I just can't end this pile for you here without helping you find out more. 3, and I see this one. 4. Oh, these are 5. Okay. Movement. You have the Queen of Cups. You have the Hierophant. Definitely a teacher helping others right. People following your lead in something. Wow, you have the Queen of Wands with the golden shield. You look, pile number 2. You are definitely protected. I see your future self describing the fact that you will realize just how much you are protected as time goes by. My dear pile number 2, you have the Fool card with the Keeper. And this specific Fool card is a very spiritual card. I'm surprised. Actually, I'm not. This came here. There are 3 versions of the Fool card in this deck. And this is the one on a spiritual journey, and one that has connected to source, believe it or not, connected to the spiritual realm. Unbelievable. It seems like you're really, really in touch here with the spiritual realm. Pile number 2. Perhaps you are someone who has strong intuition, someone who's very psychically gifted as well. Gosh, I would love to get to know more about you, pile number 2. And how lucky am I to have someone like you in the channel. I'm so blessed. You have the 6 of Cups. 6 of Cups, I would say you achieving, my dear pile number 2, your old dreams, your childhood dreams. I think, taking a look at the egg here, it's now making me see another layer. It's like you had childhood dreams of who you want to be like or be created in the future. Isn't that so cute? And I see your future self telling you, remember this memory. Keep it in your head. Pile number 2. Keep the vision of all these big dreams, these bigger dreams of who you wanted to become as a child, who you have seen yourself to be one day. All these big dreams of who you were going to become and what you're going to do and how you're going to look like and who are you going to meet and yada, yada, yada. You name it. You know your dreams. And I see your future self telling you that, believe it or not, you have become that which everything you have fanned them to be one day. This is not a coincidence. Your dream has been guarded spiritually, protected. And yes, you may have been through hard times that would make it seem impossible at the time. You held on, you persevered. See, I keep saying it. This pile kept moving several times. It's like, take me out into my dreams. And see? And you have achieved every single thing you have ever wanted to be. Oh, pile number 2. I can't help but hug you. I'm very happy for you, pile number 2. And so, let's see, returning to our question, how is this reality like and who are you going to be? You are going to be some sort of spiritual teacher, it seems. Maybe your mission will become the teacher or you will become the teacher. This idea came in another pile this month, I remember. I don't remember which reading and which pile, and it's good because but if you were that pile and then here, my goodness, what a confirmation. What a confirmation. Because the cards are completely different, but we see kind of something similar here of you being a teacher and others learning from your mission, or perhaps even from you. Maybe it's not that like the other pile. Maybe you actually being a spiritual teacher and helping people rise with your wisdom, with the information that you have perhaps downloaded, or inherent wisdom in you. You have so much passion to change you and change your surrounding and help others. Maybe you've noticed a broken system and you're here to fix it, to give access to everyone, without judgment, without hate, realizing that everyone's on a journey and to just heal and help. So with the Queen of Wands rising to popularity and being greatly protected, one of the worries about popularity is perhaps losing freedom or paying sometimes for the popularity or losing things or being hit. But I see with the golden shield, your future self is telling you that you are greatly protected, which is really good to know for you. And having the Fool card with Source, I see that that your future self is telling you you are going to be on a spiritual journey. This spiritual journey is highly protected. You're carrying something that you're supposed to do that has a very important role. And this is why you are assisted perhaps by a large team in the spiritual world, and you are in the terrestrial world, the 3D, applying it with your team. And that this mission is greatly shielded and protected. Pile number 2 as well with the Keeper, the Fool here. You're going on a journey, being in contact with Source. So are you going to be downloading information? I'm sorry, I'll get another card. This reading was supposed to end a long time, but I can't help but find out for you. If it's clear, then you're supposed to know it. If it's not, then maybe you already know about your journey. Pile number 2. I'm just trying to help out here. So what is this? How are you going to get information? May we kindly know? You have the 6 of Wands with victory. Wow. And you have the Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords and 6 of Wands. Knight of Swords is all about collecting information, finding the truth, seeking the truth, and being victorious. So you're assisted here in your mission of finding the truth. You're finding some certain truth, perhaps a truth pertaining to the beginning of the world. Okay, now the cards are uncanny. Pertaining perhaps to something that's kept hidden, protected maybe, and you will be victorious. Oh, and maybe even finding a new creative way of doing something. So you're either finding a creative way of doing something and you'll be successful at it, or you're digging information, or maybe it's a collection of all. In all ways, pile number 2, you are greatly assisted by Source in finding this information and helping others rise through it. The information could be medical, it could be educational, it could be spiritual, it could be really anything. But you're birthing something new into the world. And with this birth, it's like a birth for everyone. After bodies feeling like their souls are dying, it's a rebirth of the soul and the body and the mind once again into the sphere, to the terrestrial sphere. My dear pile number 2. With the Queen of Cups here depicted as the angel who solves and purifies, we do see that you have the elixir to heal others as you heal yourself. What a description and what a reading. I do not think that I will be forgetting about this reading ever. I think it's one of these readings that will be photographed in my mind, being amazed at the type of energy. I hope I get to know you, pile number 2, and all the best of luck with what you are doing. I love people like you. Thank you for being a beacon of light into the world, and may you always be protected and to help everyone. And I'm very sorry about the past. Know that I love you, pile number 2. So pile number 2, that was your reading. I have so much respect for it. And if you've enjoyed your reading, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload. Don't forget to click on your notification bell, and please don't forget to check out my productivity book. You might be interested in it. It's small, straight to the point, and so you won't procrastinate on reading it, but it has all the key advice and secrets to becoming a productive person right away, all while enjoying the process. If you're interested in that, you'll find a link to this ebook down in the description box. And pile number 2, it was such a pleasure. Thank you, and I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye. Hi, pile number 2. So you have chosen the beautiful blue howlite as well as impasse. Interesting. Let's take a look at your cards and see what your future self's description is of you, of who you have become. Pile number 3. So you have mystic. Ooh. Revels in intimate union with the divine. Wow. Okay. So you have Scorpion. Wow. Wow, strong energy. Strong energy. Okay. You have Venus in Capricorn with convention. My goodness. Okay. What a mysterious pile. All right, let's take a look at the rest of your cards and see what is this all about. You have the 10 of Swords, and this is a 10 of Swords that I really love. Has such deep meanings that I really admire. We'll talk about that in a second. You also have the 7 of Pentacles. You have the Corruptor with the 7 of Cups. I mean, the energies in this reading are a bit different, although they're both 7s, but I mean in general, there's just so many things to look at. Okay, you have the 8 of Wands, and you have the 2 of Cups. Ooh. Let's see what this is about and what your future is, how your future self is describing you here. Pile number 3. You know, taking a look at Mystic, and then taking a look at this specific card, there is this idea about the other world. You see here with the 10 of Swords, a figure that has trapped itself in a box, symbolizing its closed mentality, its inability to think outside of their own mind. And you see all of these swords, they're getting into this claustrophobic box of them not being able to look outside and think outside of the things they're dwelling on, because perhaps it's scary to look outside and they kept themselves stuck with their ideas that they don't want to get out of. And even the swords are poking, and it's becoming impossible to live this reality. The swords are not really causing any blood, symbolizing the idea that it's not causing physical pain, it's causing emotional pain. And so we always say that the Ten of Swords is an end of a cycle. But this cycle here is the other world, because obviously in this, with this mentality, this person is not going to survive this and is going to the other world. And so here we're seeing other worldly energy. Now, this does not depict you. I'll tell you in a second with impasse what this is trying to say. But what I'm trying to show you here very clearly is that there is transcendence. The only way out of a stuck mentality is transcendence. So I see your future self telling you that your situation, in fact, this is what impasse is, right? As a problem that is so big, a challenge that is so big, it seems like there's no way out of it. It's like it's a full stop, right? And so I'm seeing here that your future self is telling you that you have transcended from one reality into a different reality. You have healed. Your future self is talking about you, your soul, and your spiritual mission and your shadow. Your future self is saying you have come together with yourself. That there's a lot of self-love that happened. That you have come to grow and love yourself and bring yourself out of a box that was keeping you really stuck. And you've grown into something much stronger and much more loving towards you, because obviously in the past with convention here, even though you're a highly spiritual person and you've found your way back to this universal connection, in the past it was opposite energy. Apologies, I had to check my dog. So going back to this idea, we see that this claustrophobic ideas perhaps came from conventional ideas that could have been put onto you from perhaps a community, some religion or family. And you do see this confirmed as well with the Seven of Cups here. Let me bring this carefully. You do see here in this Seven Cups the 7 deadly sins being depicted with envy, gluttony, sloth, wrath, pride, lust, and avarice. So you do see there's a lot of guilt, shame, wrong, right, and it's just made things complicated, where you perhaps have in the past blamed yourself, put yourself down because of all these restrictive ideas. And while there's some learnings from it, sometimes the good things are over time used to make people feel stuck. It's not seen in the right way. And I do see you have transcended from all of that, pile number 3. And this is very clear here in your 7 of Cups and the choices you have made in your process of transcendence. Do you see here this axe that is ready to cut off any material wants, or to cut off anything that is bringing them down? This axe took a good look in the mirror. There's self-assessment that happened. And from there's a decision from where to go. And you see, it seems like it was in one spiritual moment that changed your whole life. Either this already happened to you or is going to happen to you. Pile number 3, I see your future self describing you that there was one moment where you connected straight with divine. You see the galaxy here in the Milky Way, the position of the moon showing that it's at the middle of the night. It doesn't have to be, it's just showing it's one serene moment. A light was shed onto you, and you've realized that you needed to slowly break. Do you see how this woman is breaking? Break these old ideas that you were taught that affected you greatly. Pile number 3. And I see your future self describing you as someone who has become very strong and very psychic. Someone who has totally different ideas now and has learned to love yourself. Oh, pile number 3, I'm sending you a great virtual hug. I love you too. And I'm happy you broke out of this conventional type of thinking and out into the vast universe and vast world, and truly found yourself amidst all of this. There's a word for it, this entangled mindset that kept you trapped when the universe is vast. You've learned so much, pile number 3, and your future self is very grateful and thankful that you took your future self in this place. In fact, your future self is sending you so much love and gratitude because you had to endure so much to bring your future self to where it is today. Oh, so sweet. I see your future self now describing you as someone who is free, fun, strong, and fiery. You have so much passion for life, so much strength, and so much self-acceptance. If we put this together. So first, the scorpion is not just strong, but very passionate and determined. The scorpion, their careers are very important to them, as well as a few select that are important to them. People are impressed with their mystery and their fun and strong demeanor. And so we can say fiery but fun and strong. Fierce is the word I'm looking for. Now, taking a look at the 2 of Cups here, which we keep referring to self-love, we have the Iraqi story of Enkidu and Gilgamesh. Well, Gilgamesh was, I think, 2/3 divine and 1/3 mortal. And so Gilgamesh was the king, by the way, of Uruk. And Gilgamesh always demanded a lot of respect, a lot of attention, a lot of love, a lot of celebration. And the whole kingdom, or his people, they had to tread around him very carefully. They had to provide his needs. They had to give this attention that Gilgamesh wanted. And it was so hard to keep up with Gilgamesh, really. And so with the people feeling very tired of trying to keep up, this is 2/3 divine. Gilgamesh's power is so strong, no equal in strength or vigor. And so Gilgamesh had a lot of power and strength to them that others just couldn't keep up with. And so the people of Uruk, they couldn't take it anymore, and they went to complain to the god Anu. And so the god Anu decided to create another mythical creature, Enkidu. And Enkidu was a wild man who was very strong. It's like an untamed beast, as you can see, a solid force. And so when Gilgamesh met Enkidu, he realized that Enkidu was intimidating him, and so he challenged him into a match. And of course, Gilgamesh, knowing that this is always his strong point above anyone else, being two-thirds divine, of course accepted the challenge. And then, to his surprise, as they were in the battle wrestling, Gilgamesh quickly realized that Enkidu was his equal in force. He was so surprised because he has never seen that before. And so with this wrestling match that just showed how equal they were, with a slither of power or move, Gilgamesh won. And from there, Gilgamesh had a lot of admiration for Enkidu, was able to see his force and felt that he matched him, and they were inseparable since then. They went on adventures together, defeating many monsters together. They just had a wonderful, beautiful, loving relationship together. And this really shows me, it depicts your relationship with yourself in the future, where it could have started with wrestling, with perhaps a lot of unmatching energy with the people around you. It turned out into a beautiful story of you really loving and appreciating yourself, seeing the amazing things about you and being grateful for being you, embracing you. And this self-love is exuding from you. You've even discovered so much about yourself, your psychic powers, how much you're connected to divine, and you found your strength. You've found so many things about you that you perhaps could have been ashamed of admitting to yourself before because of the old learnings, or maybe because of comparisons that others put you in, and all these entangling thoughts. As you detangled them or took out of your life and transcended, you were able to see life in a much different way, especially yourself. And so now there's a lot of self-love, a lot of self-confidence, very high self-esteem, a free thinker, mystical being who is bold and not afraid to shatter old beliefs and rise as a bigger, stronger person who is ready to tackle anything, because now you believe that anything is possible. You're out there with the Eight of Wands, with force, attracting what you want into your life, manifesting everything that you want, where you found yourself in this magical sphere. And it's from there started to become a magical experience to you, the world. And I see your future self describing you as happy, passionate, fierce, strong, and full of self-love. My dear pile number 3. My goodness, my pile number 3. Have I enjoyed your reading? What a character. And I'm so happy you're so free, and may you always be free and shining, my dear pile number 3. So that was your reading. I hope you've enjoyed it. And if you have, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload. Don't forget to click on your notification bell. And please don't forget to check out my productivity book. You might be interested in it because it's small, straight to the point, and so you won't procrastinate on reading it. But it has all the key advice and secrets to becoming a productive person right away, all while enjoying the process. If you're interested in that, you'll find a link to this book down in the description box. And pile number 3, it was such a pleasure. And I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye. Hi, pile number 4. So you have chosen the beautiful tiger's eye as well as air. So let's take a look at your cards and do this fun reading. I'm so excited about it. We are taking a look at how your future self describes you, describes who you have become. Okay, So let's put out your tarot cards here for now. And may I mention that you got a lot of cards in the shuffling process. Okay, so you have mediator. Gift for negotiating fairness and strategy in personal and professional life. Respect for both sides of an argument. So there's a lot of intellectual energy here with negotiation, with the air element. Yeah. Let's see what we have first. Ooh, you have the gazelle, and I love gazelles. Okay, let's keep it here for now. So there's alertness. With gazelles, we see alertness. A gazelle is so alert of its environment. And that's why you have the sun here. It sees well because it's very careful about predators and who's to come and hunt. And so it's very quick to move. And so I see a lot of communication, a lot of thinking, a lot of speaking with power, especially that you have the tiger's eye, which is courage and optimism, power. I wonder what this is going to say. I love your pile so far, pile number 4. Let's get more information about how your future self is describing who you've become. You have Venus in Cancer with birth. Wow. Right? Wow. And it was 21-21. 1-21-21 in your reading as we saw that. Incredible. We'll see what this is about again as we take a look at the rest of your cards. So, pile number 4. How about we, do that so it's easy to access. So, you have the Knight of Pentacles. Should bring it down so you can see it. Yeah. You have the 10 of Wands. You have the Prince of Wands, which is the Knight of Wands. So you have the Knight of Pentacles and the Knight of Wands. You have fresh young energy here. The gazelle, the knights, the birth. Okay. Ooh, you have the Two of Wands with the discerning one. And you have the Ace of Pentacles with the bread of life. You also have the Magician ending your reading and entering it too. Welcome, Magician. It didn't come by surprise that we said that. By coincidence. What is up here? So what I'm seeing here, pile number 4, your future self describing you as someone who is in a position of power, and you have created great prosperity from being a speaker or some sort of diplomat. And the reason I say that is because the ram and the Two of Wands, the ram in Eastern mythology, is an omen of prosperity and diplomacy. And with the discerning one, I really see that you've built power and wealth in your future by being a great diplomat or speaker within a field that is very hard to handle. Pile number 4, it's not easy to speak up and win and change things, and to have that amount of power to handle a field like that, because you constantly have to be alert. You have to think, you have to be quick on your feet, and that takes a lot of endurance and strength to do it. But through your speeches and your negotiations in the future, you will have birthed or probably continue to birth new ideas and new paths that were otherwise not there. Because when talking about paths in specific, we have the Knight of Pentacles here, and you do see some security, the Knight of Pentacles patrolling an industrial area, and they're going round and round every day, securing it and making sure that it's clear. And so with the Knight of Pentacles, they're steady and they do the same thing every day. Perhaps this Knight of Pentacles does not want to explore anything outside of this area that they have carved with their wheels, going round and round every day. And they've done a great job. The Knight of Pentacles is someone who works hard, and after doing their job very well with quality, and you do see them flaunting their beautiful pentacle or award towards us, showing how they've done a great job with manufacturing whatever it is that they're concerned about, or manufacturing their career. But they have the same old way, going round and round. And so I see that you are in some sort of industry in the future or field that has been doing the same thing over and over. And while it creates opportunities and does amazing things, there is something that is maybe unfair in this field, or it is stuck in this field. And it takes a lot of alertness and awareness and reading and studying. Perhaps you're a lawyer or a diplomat, or someone who works in the UN, or just a speaker who is speaking against, with power, with the research, against something that's going wrong. A great communicator is how your future self is describing you. That communicates with power, that makes sure you study everything and read very well. And it's not a job, or it's not a skill that everyone can have or chooses to have, because it requires a lot of endurance. And you are equipped for it. You are someone who chooses to endure it. You see, with the 10 of Wands here, what's the word called? Not a tailor, a woodsman. Went into the forest and collected their wood sticks. And going back home with these 10 wood sticks, their arms are numb and it's hurting, but they're persevering and they're holding it. They're bearing the pain because they know what they're going to do with these wands back home. So it shows us that this is not for everyone. You're willing to calmly endure this tough path, and you're willing to learn. You're willing to be alert, but you know you have the strong skills for it. And this is why you see here the Knight of Wands, and I see it in two ways. See, two ways, the Knight of Wands. You being strong and persevering, but you have a lot of wisdom, because the people opposite to you on the other side are, you see here with the Knight of Pentacles and the Knight of Wands, while there are many marvelous things about them, the perseverance to work with quality, or being, as you see with the Knight of Wands, having swiftness and strength. But also the Knight of Wands is very opposite to the energy that I see here. In terms of the Knight of Wands wants to win an argument, and sometimes they don't weigh things out, as you see here, as your depiction of you here. They don't weigh things out because they are very blinded to the idea that they're defending. And with that, decision making or making up their minds is not really always easy, because they're easily persuaded by others, since they didn't put a lot of thought into the others, into what they're saying, because they're blindly following the same route, the same path. And so this is where you come in, pile number 4. You're willing to do your homework, you're willing to be alert, you're smart, you thoroughly think about it, you're not with one group or the other, as you see with the mediator here. You're balanced, and you think about what is right rather than who's going to win or lose. You can lose the battle if it's truly wrong, you let it go. You're all about doing what's right, and so your energy contains a lot of diplomacy, a lot of negotiation, a lot of discussions to rectify and end something that in the field, that the field has endured for a long time, or the person you're defending or the cause that you're defending has endured for a very long time. And I see your future self describing you as pretty unique in your field, very unique, and quite respected as well in your field, because we see here with the Ace of Pentacles, you creating a route for yourself, a path for yourself with a name that will forever be remembered, because we have I forgot. Nazareth, yes, Mariam of Nazareth, which is of course the Virgin Mary. And it's really interesting because we have woodworking here, craftsmen. Mariam of Nazareth, or Virgin Mary, was married to Joseph, the woods craftsman. So this is coming strong, I don't know why. But you do see the idea of crafting a path for yourself and a name for yourself, because of your alertness and because of your perseverance and study and strategizing to birth a new pathway for everyone, or for the cause you're looking out for, or for your clients. Pile number 4. You're a great spokesman, a great negotiator, someone who does not have a hidden agenda, either personally or professionally. You're here to do the right thing. And so there's a lot of winning cases here. Again, looking at the ram, which signifies both leadership and prosperity, as we said. Leadership, prosperity, diplomacy. With the Two of Wands, you're a very discerning person, and that's the difference in energy here. You depend on your logic and your research to win arguments, and because of that, you will craft a new pathway, dare I say, to humanity? Maybe, I don't know, but your work is very important in your future. Pile number 4 is what I'm seeing your future self telling you and describing you as. Someone with a lot of power, respect, and wealth as well. What you're birthing out, what you're trying to birth out is something that has been stuck for a long time, something that has been harming someone or people or humanity. There's what's the word called? Suppression, freeing some sort of suppression. And you're not trying to be on one side or the other. You're really birthing something that is fair for everyone. And that's what makes a great negotiator, someone who is there to make both sides win. Again, this is why you have respect for both sides of an argument. So you're here for the cause, to bring out the right. But you're one of a kind, because not a lot of people have the alertness and the intelligence and being quick on their feet and the capability of collecting a vast amount of knowledge and using it right away and picking out what's wrong and enduring the rough and tough conversations that may not always be honest. To get right down to it and to prove it and to change things. A drive for change is how your future self is describing you, pile number 4, that it has powerful energy to move everyone to forward, bringing what has been suppressed to the forefront, showing it boldly and having the tough discussions. Having the tough discussions and showing smart points that prove your argument, and not going round and round with people, bringing in facts, not playing along the game and enduring it until the end, until what you have presented in the forefront has won everybody's attention. Pile number 4. I see your future self telling you that you will have a great transformational effect for your life and a great transformation effect on your field or the world or something big. Because you do see here the fairy godmother of Cinderella, and you see how she transformed Cinderella when her stepmothers and stepsisters laughed at her face and told her, who would want to look at you? How would you come with us to the party when you look as filthy as you do? Because she had to sleep in the furnace or the ashes. And so as she was crying because of the unfairness, and as we can see here, the fairy godmother came and saved her, and she changed the pumpkins into a sledge, or what is it called? Carriage. And the mice into horses, and her clothes into a beautiful gown, and she had a wonderful night. I see that with your fingertips, or to put it quite clearly, with your voice and your character, you will be saving the unfortunate, the people who are treated unfairly, at a weaker position, in one field or the other, bringing them to the forefront, giving them a chance. And as you help others, you are helping yourself, pile number 4, and you've become a great name, never to be forgotten, with a lot of power and wealth. It's like you deserve it, you know, because in Latin, the word deserve is right from the Latin word serve, which means of service. And so when you're of service, shows that when you're of service to others, you really deserve what you have. And this is what I see your future self telling you, my dear pile number 4, you deserve everything that you've done, because you have such a good heart and you stood up for what is right, regardless, helping those who need you, just like a beautiful fairy godmother. So pile number 4, it was such a pleasure doing this reading for you, and a great honor to meet a wonderful person like you. I am so lucky and blessed on this channel to meet amazing people like that. May you be blessed in your mission. And so pile number 4, that was your reading. If you've enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload. Don't forget to click on your notification bell. And please don't forget to check out my productivity book. It's small, straight to the point, and so you won't procrastinate on reading it, but it has all the key advice and secrets to becoming a productive person right away, all while enjoying the process. And so if you're interested in that, you'll find a link to this book down in the description box. And pile number 4, it was such a pleasure, and I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye.